Here's 3 toxic habits that I quit to heal my nervous system. But first of all, how do you know that your nervous system actually needs healing? Probably you've been doing some research into this already. If not, and you just clicked on this video just out of curiosity, well, I'm going to give you some examples of some potential things that could be going on in your life right now that are clear signs that your nervous system needs regulating. I don't know why I picked up that box then, but it needs regulating. So the first sign is potentially that you've got things like brain fog or missing some like level of clarity in the mind. Like, you know, when you need that your mind to be working and sometimes it's just not working the way that you know that it used to be working or that it should be working. Things like even anxiety or like low levels of anxiety throughout your whole day. Just like under the surface, you don't know why. Or maybe even it's not throughout the whole day, but in certain moments, maybe it's like some situations or some people or some person. I'm laughing in my mind because when I said some person, I was just imagining when I say some person or some people, like you instantly seeing that family member who pisses you off or gets on your nerve kind of thing. But regardless of that family member or whoever gets on your nerves, sometimes we have these situations that just trigger us. And we know that probably we shouldn't react like this, or like after the situation has happened and we just like, why did I react like that? These are like some symptoms and signs that your nervous system just isn't regulated and can't handle stress as efficiently as it should be able to. Other situations or other symptoms is things like irritable bowel syndrome or like stomach issues. Obviously, some people might say, yeah, but it's nutrients or yes, to do with the food. Yes, that is a factor, but oftentimes these things can be amplified by your nervous system not being as regulated as it should be. Some other situations or circumstances or symptoms, I'm laughing because it feels like I'm like ChatGPT or something like that. But I'm just giving you some generic symptoms right now. Actually, let me just give you some personal ones because I know for me, when I first experienced, when I look back and I was going through some stressful situations in life and my nervous system wasn't as regulated as it is now, I remember I would have things like memory problems. Like, I'm not talking about the memory problems of, okay, technology has got better. So back in the day, I used to be able to remember 11-digit phone numbers, so many of these phone numbers, but now I can't remember any of them because we've got technology. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about the type of memory issues where it's like, you clearly said something, but you just have no idea what you said, or something happened, but you have no recollection of it. Or you know that you was going to the shop for something, but it just blanks out. Like too many of these situations just keep happening. I remember this used to happen to me like quite a lot for me individually. Maybe you've experienced that too. And also I would have things like, getting good amounts of sleep at night, but then waking up feeling tired still. Or maybe for some of you, maybe you're not even getting good amounts of sleep, like you're getting like restless sleep. And that could be another factor. Like there's so many factors. Last factor I'll say, because I want to share these factors now because it might be the case where you need to regulate your nervous system really badly, but because you don't know that these are symptoms of an unregulated nervous system, you're not taking action on it. And I want you to actually do something about it, especially after this video, because trust me, these 3 things, if you quit them, it will transform your life forever. So I remember for me, the last thing that I wanted to say was I would even be, okay, so I'm an introvert by nature. So when I say this, take this with a pinch of salt. I would be even avoiding social interactions. Like I was already avoiding social interactions as it was. Like those of you, if you're an introvert, you will know what I mean by this. It's just like, introvert doesn't necessarily mean that you're shy or awkward. Like that could be a factor, but it just means that you get charged energetically. The way I see it is you get charged energetically by being in your own space. But I remember for me, when my nervous system was as regulated, I would even be avoiding like messaging people back who messaged me, like family members, friends, just because, not because I didn't like them, but because like, I just felt like my system was overwhelmed and I didn't have the energy to like just put all this output in there. So if you're experiencing anything like this, any of these symptoms, then this video will help you. Now, disclaimer, obviously these things I've just mentioned, there could be other factors at play, but I guarantee if you watch to the end of this video, you take on board these 3 things and you actually quit them for yourself, I guarantee you will feel an effect in your nervous system as early as tonight. Guaranteed. It's a strong guarantee, but I know that it will work because these were the main things that helped me in my life through many periods in my life where I was working 15, 16-hour days with a lot of stress, a lot of responsibility, periods in my life where I was even learning things from Himalayan yogis and how to manage stress, how to manage your energy. So many situations in my life, and these are the 3 main things I want to share with you, because ultimately we always go through our lives thinking like, what's the secret? You know what I mean? Sometimes there's people out there who just have the best health, the best management of stress, the best energy levels, and it's kind of like, are these people just born with this? Is it because they don't have my job? Is it because they they have some like meditative state, monk state that they can tap into that I don't know about, or like, what's their secret? Like, you ever thought like, what's the secret to people just being able to handle these things that for some reason my body or my system can't handle? Well, I'm here to share with you, there is a secret. It's just that these secrets or these things, not many people are talking about, or most people are overlooking. And I'm speaking very fast because I'm getting excited about this. So, you know, hopefully you can deal with my fast Brummie accent. But anyway, so let's get into it. I don't know why I said let's get into it. This is what every YouTuber says. But anyway, let's get back into it. So the first thing, oh, by the way, I did tweak a lot of things in my life, but these are three main things that I feel will have a big impact if you was to just change them today. There are other factors. If you want me to share more things about nervous system regulation and all that sort of thing, let me know in the comments. But for today's video, the three things I want to jump into is first, the first thing that I quit was ignoring my fascia. Now, you've probably heard of fascia before. Well, some of you maybe have, some of you maybe haven't. What is fascia? Fascia, very simply, is the connective tissue in our body that connects things like our skin to our muscle and our bones, our organs. It's like our fascia is connected to everything in our body. But the problem is that most people are overlooking this. And why are they overlooking this? Well, it even goes into our medical system. Do you know that medical students or medical people in the medical profession, when they are taught about the human anatomy, the human body, when they're doing things like dissecting the human body, what they were taught for decades is to cut through the fascia and go into the muscle, look into the skeleton, look into the organs. Take the fascia, throw it in the bin. So our way of thinking is that fascia is just a waste product, like not really a useful product of the body. But did you know that around 50% of people's chronic pain, you know, pain that people have for a long time in their life, whether it's back pain, leg pain, arm pain, muscle pain, whatever pain, around 50% is linked to fascia not being in good condition. Basically, it's something called adhesions. Now, I don't want to get into super scientific, super technical stuff. If you want that stuff, ChatGPT is there. Okay, I want to give you some practical things that you can start today so that not just your mind is educated, but you actually feel this in your nervous system. Because, you know, in this day and age, especially when we're talking about like nervous system being unregulated, having so much information in the mind is just clouding everything. I want to strip that away for you so that you can just get the results. So basically, let me just say adhesions then. Usually the fascia is able to move across each other in a nice flowing manner. Like fascia is a very intelligent, sophisticated piece of tissue. It can go from like relative to its weight, it can be almost like strong as steel relative to its weight. Obviously it's not like steel because it's not steel, but relative to its weight, it can have the strength of steel, but also very quickly it can change to like a gel-like substance depending on what it's needed for. And your fascia is everywhere throughout your body. So as you can see, your fascia is pretty intelligent, pretty sophisticated. And if you look at it online, you'll see a lot of people start talking about it in these recent years. So more and more people are talking about it, more and more people are talking about it, which is beautiful. But the problem that people are facing is because it's been neglected for so long, people build these adhesions, which basically means instead of the fascia being able to flow smoothly, it kind of tightens and locks. This is why, you know, sometimes you might experience like lower back pain. A big problem that people think is that, okay, I've got lower back pain, let me get a massage or let me work it out. But you know what it's like. You can get a sports massage, you can get the most intense massage out there. Somebody can be unknotting that thing, you feel good. The next day you feel good. The next day you feel good. But then 3, 4, 5 days after, what happens? That knot comes back. Why? Because actually that knot isn't the root cause. You see, if your fascia is tight here, it can cause down here to knot, right? For example, it can get very sophisticated, but I want to give you a general example. Something could be tight here in your fascia and you could feel it down here because it's all connected in your body. So if there's tightness here, this bit down here has to compensate. And if you're just focusing on that knot down there, but not dealing with the root cause, what's going to happen? You're going to have that pain throughout your whole life. This is where they call chronic pain. And actually, I used to have this. This is why I put this as the first thing in the video. Because the thing is, people will say, hey, Josh, it's cool. I go gym and I stretch. I'm good. Or people will say, yeah, I do yoga every day. But there's a difference between going gym and stretching or doing yoga. Yes, yoga is good. But there's a difference between doing targeted fascia exercises. And the biggest way that I can demonstrate this to you is for around 6 years, I had this pain in my back. Like, I don't know if you've had this before. Like, it's like called the rhomboids of your back. Like just like, okay, around here, but on my back. For 6 years, I used to go gym like very consistently. I was like 10 kilos bigger, like muscle wise. I used to gym a lot. But then it got to a point where I'd have this like back pain. It was like out of 10 on a daily basis, I'll be having like a 6, 7 out of 10 pain in my back every single day. And I just thought, okay, I'm gonna have to live with this because it was like there for like years. Then what happens? I started working with a Himalayan yogi, and then we started doing yoga pretty much every single day. And I stopped gym. I stopped gym and started doing yoga. My pain on a daily basis went from like a 6, 7, 8 out of 10 when I started doing yoga every day to like a subtle 4 out of 10. Like it went down a lot, but it was still there. It was like a dull ache, a dull pain that was there. And maybe if you've got this right now, like you can relate, because yeah, the biggest game changer was not the gym. The biggest game changer was not even the yoga. The yoga helped, and certain asanas in particular helped. But the biggest game changer was doing targeted fascia work. I kid you not. After 6 years of having this pain, this dull pain throughout my back, after around 2-3 weeks of doing this targeted fascia exercises, what happens? That pain went from a 4 to a 3 to a 2 to a 1 to on most days don't even feel it anymore. I would go as far as saying that these fascia exercises has healed that chronic pain that I've had for years. So how do you do this? Well, actually, I don't want to make this video too long. I'm not going to put B-roll of me stretching right now. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to link you in the description a video that I use. It's not my video. It's a video by Human Garage. They're actually pretty good and pretty sophisticated in teaching fascia and trauma releasing and all that sort of thing, because fascia gets tight over the years if you build up of trauma from a childhood, from your adulthood, stress, poor hydration, poor diet, not looking after it, not stretching it, not moving it. There's so many different factors that can cause it, which most likely you're having these adhesions in your body. And just because you may not have chronic pain or chronic pain in the back or in the leg or anywhere, doesn't mean that you haven't got adhesions. And think about it. If you've got, let's say, this stress in the body that is subconscious, like you're not feeling it consciously. There might be some things that you're feeling consciously, but most of it you're not feeling consciously. But your subconscious pain is high. This is why if somebody says something to you or something happens in your life and then you snap, and you're like, after a while, you're like, whoa, why did I snap like that? Why did that happen? It's because your pain is around here in the subconscious level. That one thing affecting your pain body, your emotional body, pushes it above the threshold to now you snap. But imagine this. Imagine your fascia was, you was actually focusing on your fascia, not ignoring it, and doing these targeted exercises. It would bring down the stress in your body to the point where if somebody says something, it might bring your stress back up, but it will only bring it up back to the point that it was back before you started doing these fascia maneuvers. It won't bring you up to that threshold where you start to snap or start to lose your mind. You getting what I'm saying? Like, this has a big effect. And for me, I know that by doing this, it wasn't just my back pain that it got rid of. It helped me sleep better at night. Like the days when I don't do my fascia exercise and my fascia routine, I know that I can't go to sleep as quicker. It helps me get better quality sleep. It helps me with my stress management, not having levels of anxiety throughout the day. It helps with a lot. Like, you just do this one thing, trust me, you will see the result as early as tonight. So what I'm going to do in the comment, I want to put a link to the video that I started with. I do things differently now to make it even more better for the nervous system. But this is a perfect starting point. If you want my insights into what I personally do specifically, extra, just leave it in the comments and I'll either respond or do another video on it. But this video that I'm going to put in the pinned comments, check it out today. Follow it. It's like 12 minutes. Very easy maneuvers. You don't need a yoga mat. You don't need anything in particular. You can just be in a small space and do it. It will transform your life forever. That is point number one. Point number one is stop ignoring your fascia. The second thing that I did, that I quit, was phone notifications. Not having my notifications have direct access to me. Now, this is split into two parts. The first part is first thing in the morning. You know, everybody says don't check your phone first thing in the morning. I'm not going to say that because I assume you're not already doing that. If you're already on this path to regulating your nervous system, you should not be checking your phone, your tablet, social media, anything first thing in the morning. You should be focusing on you. Yes, I know some of you will be like, yeah, Josh, but I got a business to run this. You can run your business. Just spend the first 5-10 minutes setting your day straight. Not letting something else program you where you see the news and boom, it affects your mindset. See the news or see social media, boom, it affects your nervous system. See something external, boom, it affects you. How about you wake up, you're in alpha brainwave states. You can either do a meditation, you can do some stretches, your fascia, hint, hint. You could do something else, whatever you want to do, but something just to regulate your nervous system, balance the day, set your intention going forward, and you will notice an effect. But that's not what this point is about. This point is about, because I got that like some years ago. I was like, okay, I see the difference when I check my phone in the morning, I'm scrolling, and I get out of bed and my mind feels foggy, versus the days when I do not check my phone. I get up, I do whatever I want to do in the morning, first thing, like my morning routine, and then I can check my phone after, and it's a very different response. Not having that fogginess, not having things like impacting my mindset. But the problem came in was, we're human, okay? And I'm gonna be honest with you, even though I wasn't checking my phone, sometimes my phone would be there because obviously I have my phone alarm waking me up or something. And when I would turn my alarm off, I would check my notification. Like I would see my phone, I would check my notification and put it down. I'm not checking my phone, but I'm just checking my notification in case somebody liked my post, or in case somebody messaged me, or some random BS, or like, what's that email? But I remember there was one day when this clicked for me, that even that is having such a detrimental effect on my nervous system and my and how my body is reacting first thing in the morning. I know some of you guys might be thinking, but this is a bit sensitive, notification. But I kid you not, because I started to work with this yogi and different trainings in spirituality, personal development, I started to be very conscious of how things are affecting my body, to the point where one morning I woke up and I had a message from my mom on my notification. All the message said was just, "Hi Josh, how are you today?" That's all it said. Nothing too crazy, no stressful situation. But I remember I put that down because I'm not checking my phone, I'm going to carry on. But then when I was doing my morning stuff, like, that thought was on my mind. It was like, oh, how would I respond to that? How am I doing today? What's going on in life? Like, all these thoughts that were like building up in my subconscious that would then come into my conscious, I could feel them. So the reason why I say not letting your notifications have access to you is, even in the morning when you first wake up, don't check your phone, don't check notifications, just turn your alarm off, get on with what you're doing. But also, secondly, the second part of this is, throughout your day, do you have your phone on throughout the day? I'm not saying turn your phone off, because obviously we're doing stuff on phones. I work online, so I need my phone. But is it the case where every single notification that comes through is ding, 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 whatever your notification like ringtone is it going off? Because when I used to have it on, it used to be the case, because I used to have a very intense job working with a lot of people, like on social media and stuff. So it'd be the case where I would have notifications, I kid you not, like literally every couple minutes, like notification will be going off, or a different app will be going off, or this person will message, or this thing will be happening. And it was kind of keeping I could feel it over time, my nervous system just on lookout. Like, okay, what's that? Even though you say, okay, I'm working now for these 45 minutes, I'm not going to check my phone. You hear ding, you hear ding, you hear ding. It's starting to pull you in, and you just check your phone. All these things like multitasking, everything like this, it affects your nervous system. Your body is not designed to be doing so many things at once, having access to all this information. Your body is only the last, 50 years, 70 years where technology has come into our lives so intensely. So this is the first thing. Second thing, not letting your notifications have direct access to you. That's first thing in the morning. Don't even check your notifications until you do some morning thing to set your mind right, set the day ahead. I'm not talking about some hour miracle morning routine. I'm just talking about giving yourself 10 minutes. Wake up, breathe a bit, do some exercise, do some fascia maneuvers, do some meditation, set your intention. Reflect on your day before, just something that is just like you programming yourself, not life programming you. Then equally throughout the day, not having your nervous system being so stressed out with all these notifications. What I do is I just put my phone on silent, or sometimes airplane mode if I'm just in intense working, or silent, and that way every so often I can check if there's something. But even if there are notifications, if I'm in this working period, I'm not going to check. But if I hear my notification going off, it's a bit like, even though I don't check, I feel my nervous system, I feel inside is a bit like, what's that notification? You know that feeling? Is like, I wonder what they said. Is that response from that person? Has that person got to me about that deal? Has that person replied to my email? You just put it down, you check it in your own time. Don't let it have direct access to you. You set the tone. So that's the second thing. The third and final thing that I quit was meditating without connecting to my higher self. So I didn't quit meditating. I quit meditating without connecting to my higher self. By the way, this third point, if you're not into spirituality, manifestation, or even open to the fact that you are not just you who you see here, are not open to the fact that you are beyond just who you see here, you can click off this video now, because probably this point won't resonate with you. But if you are open to the fact that you are not just this physical body, there is something beyond you, you are connected to some greater power, God, source, universe, higher self, whatever you call it, then this point will make a big difference. Sometimes we can have challenges in life that really get to us, that makes us anxious, makes us stressed, makes us worried, makes us overwhelmed. But what I found is whenever I connect to my higher self, the higher aspect of myself, the game changes. Things that I saw as a challenge or things that were worrying me, as soon as I connect to my higher energy, it's almost like those things not only do not worry anymore. I'm not talking about, because sometimes you can meditate and then you kind of like spiritually bypass your problems for a few minutes. You're meditating, it's off your mind, you clear your mind. But then when you open your eyes again, it's kind of like, oh, shiz, that thing's still there. Or, oh, shiz, my bank account's like that. Or, oh, shiz, that person has a message. Whatever it is. But that's because you're clearing your mind, so these stresses aren't coming in. But then when you open your eyes, come back into the reality, the stresses are there again. What I'm saying is going beyond that. Not just clearing the mind, that's the first stage. But when you connect to what I call a light stage, which is where you like literally connect to your higher you, elevate your energy to connect to that, what you'll start to notice is that these things that are problems or challenges start to integrate into your life. What do I mean? Is the thing that seemed worrying or overwhelming or challenging, now, when you are perceiving it in this heightened state, you see it as either a blessing or you see it as not the situation that you saw it like. You know, like if I had a 6 here and I'm seeing 6, but you're seeing 9 because it's upside down. It's the same thing. You see a whole new perspective to it, to the point where it starts to integrate and it doesn't stress you out anymore. I've even had situations which seem stressful in the moment. As soon as I connect to my higher self, the higher aspect of myself, I started to laugh about it. Like, it was starting to be funny. I started to see the bigger picture, and you just feel your nervous system going from super up there stressed to not even just neutral, but to like whatever the opposite of that is. It just feels like you just kind of feel blessed. It just feels like a whole blessing in itself. And I know for me, I did a video back in the day talking about this very deep experience that I had in Bali. In Bali, I connected to my higher self on a whole different level, like very deep. I did an old video on it. I might do a new video on it soon, because like that was the old Josh who didn't know how to articulate. Because imagine you just came back from like an ayahuasca trip. I didn't do ayahuasca. I didn't do any psychedelics or anything like that. It was all natural. But imagine you just come from some super intense experience and you're trying to come back into the real world and interpret it. That video was me just like that. I was like, didn't know what the heck was happening, but trying to explain it. And then it was like, whoa, how did this even happen? But now it's been like, what, 2 years since that experience. Yeah, if any of you guys are interested in stuff like that, let me know in the comments, because I definitely will be inclined to do videos if enough of you are interested in stuff like that. Actually, if you have ever connected to your intuition deeply or your higher self deeply or anything like that, even if it wasn't like consistently, but just like one time in your life, hit the like button so I can know. I don't want everybody to hit the like button of this video. I just want people who have connected to their intuition or higher self at some point in their life to hit the like button. I want to get a good gist of how many people. Other than that, so those were the 3 things. These 3 things, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this. These 3 things, I gave them to you like this because it attains to body, to mind, and to spirit. The first point is for body. I wanted to give you something that will affect your body, because it's all connected. Your body, your mind, your spirit, all connected. If your mind is off, but you're in perfect health, perfect health, physical health, but not the best mental health, you already know how that will look like in your life. If you've got the best mental health, but you haven't got the best physical health, you will know how you will feel and what different hormones and different stress levels will be promoted in the body. If you've got perfect physical health, perfect mental health, beautiful. A lot of people succeed with that. But you know that sometimes you can be achieving things in life, but there's something missing deep inside. And what is that deep thing most people are missing? Is that spiritual health, that spiritual connection. So I don't know if you realize, but the 3 points that I gave you in this video, the reason why I chose them in this particular video was to give you something for the body, first of all, something for the mind to alleviate that, second of all, and something for the spirit, third of all. So those are the 3 things, guys. If you got any value from this video, then leave a comment, let me know. If you're new to the channel, subscribe so you get more videos like this on your feed every single day, every single week when I'm posting. And yeah, in the meantime, check out this video over here, because this video is probably resonating with what you want to achieve or what you want to get through in life. And other than that, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Do your fascia tonight. Don't check your notifications in the morning. Put your phone on silence or airplane mode in the day. And finally, you know what to do. Connect to that higher you. Don't just meditate, clear the mind. Clear the mind and go upwards, go inwards into yourself, connect to your higher self. And I'll see you in the next video.